What is going on, everyone? Alex here, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Today we are talking about the Canon C200 and its most recent price drop. So let me paint you guys a picture. The year is 2017 and Canon announces the Canon C200 with RAW internal, which has a lot of filmmakers salivating at the mouth. But then you see the price tag, and the price tag is $7,500, and that's like, whew. For that price, there better be some other options included in that camera that just make it just an all-around awesome camera.
Least you can do is level with me. What are my chances?
Not good.
But you didn't. You literally had the internal RAW light codec or the 8-bit 420 codec. There was just no option to choose a more compressed version of RAW, like an 8:1 or a 12:1. And it ate through memory like crazy. It uses CFast cards, which at the time were really expensive. They've gone down in price now, which they're still kind of expensive, but a lot more manageable. But back then, super expensive. So when you bought the C200, you either had to spend a buttload of money in CFast memory to shoot RAW, or you could save a lot of money and shoot SD cards, but it's 8-bit 420 internally. And there was just no in between. And at the time, you know, like 10-bit, which it's still kind of a thing right now, but 10-bit at that time was like the huge, like the rage. It was all the rage. People really wanted 10-bit in a camera, especially, don't get me wrong, if you're spending $7,500, there really should be an in-between.
Pippity poppity, give me the zobbity.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, the price tag for the Canon C200 at launch was really high. It did eventually slowly creep down to like $6,500, so they knocked $1,000 off, I think probably within the first year, because not a lot of people were buying the camera. And I worked my butt off and I sold my C100 Mark II. I think I had my 5D Mark IV, I sold that off. And I got myself a C200. I thought I needed 4K. That's a stupid reason to upgrade. I've mentioned it before in my review video of the Canon C200. I'll link it right up here. So I upgraded. And it was a great camera. The 8-bit 420, like I've stated before, even on the C100 Mark II, the 8-bit files out of Canon they shouldn't be that good. I think Canon has kind of like nailed it with the 8-bit footage. It does, it just looks good. But if you expose it and light it and grade it properly, you're gonna have awesome footage out of an 8-bit file, which is just mind-blowing. Then on the flip side, you have 12-bit internal RAW out of the C200, and to this day, I still praise the RAW out of the C200. It is absolutely beautiful. The only downside, as I mentioned before, it just chews through memory. And then when you actually do shoot it to CFast card, back in 2017, you then would throw it on your computer and your computer would just chug.
What's the matter? Huh?
You couldn't edit the footage natively on a timeline. You had to make proxies or transcode the footage to ProRes. And there was just so many workarounds to get the camera to work. And when I owned the C200, I didn't want to deal with the workarounds. I just wanted the camera to work, which is ultimately why I sold it and why I regretted selling my C100 Mark II. It's still a great camera, which is what I'm shooting with on right now. File sizes are really small and manageable. It's the full cinema setup. It's a great little camera. But now, the C200 has dropped in price significantly. I mean, last year, I was still on that train saying C200 is not worth it. It is absolutely not worth it. But now I can recommend the Canon C200 because the price has dropped significantly. It is now $3,500 for the Canon C200 and $2,500 for the Canon C200B, which was essentially just the stripped down version of the Canon C200. Didn't even have an EVF. So if you already have a monitor and a handle, that's a great option. But for most people, if you're getting into a cinema camera and you want it all fully kitted out, ready to go, $3,500 is actually a pretty damn good deal. You get internal RAW with the CFast cards, which have gone down in price, so they're a little bit more accessible. And if you have an M1 MacBook Pro or like the M1 Ultra, Max, whatever those new chips are, it can actually play back the Canon RAW footage really smoothly. So now It's like, it's like technology has caught up with the Canon C200, RAW at least, and it's now a really great option in 2023. So for anyone who is interested in getting a full-size cinema camera, I can comfortably recommend the Canon C200 for $3,500. It has the full-size XLR ports, the built-in ND, which at the push of a button, it just goes.
Nice.
So yes, now I can recommend the Canon C200 in 2023. For $3,500, you get it all. Now, there are cheaper options out there. You could do a Blackmagic camera, but I think if you kit out the Blackmagic camera, you'll get closer to the $3,500 range. Or let's say you want to do a mirrorless camera. Again, I think if you want to kit that camera out, you're gonna get closer to the $3,500 range. Or like the C100 Mark II, it's $2,700. This camera has not dropped in price. So for $2,700, it's a cheaper option, but at this point now that the C200 has dropped significantly to $3,500, I'm gonna tell you, if you're interested in the C100 Mark II, brand new that is, look at just spending a little extra money to get the C200, and you're gonna have a way better option. I'm not knocking the C100, I've stated it before in past videos, it's still a great camera, but if you're gonna look in the used market, that's where you can find cheaper options for like the C100 Mark II, but even now, the C200 on the used market is gonna be cheaper too. So you have options. And for a full-size cinema camera, can't beat the Canon line, in my opinion. Well guys, that does it for me on this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you aren't already. Tap that notification bell so you can be notified when I upload a new video. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Till next time, shoot to create.